It was a very interesting day in Western New York. Josh Allen and the Bills taking on the Patriots. And early on, it is all New England, particularly the defense. This is going to be an interception for Devin McCourty, who makes one in every game, 4 straight games with a pick.
McCourty having a great year. You saw him just have some range come from one side of the field to the other. It looked like Josh Allen threw the ball right to him.
Now it's 6-0 Patriots, and then here they come. Oh, no! Pat McAfee.
You got to bring the gunner down. You got to throw the ball to the wide-open gunner. The Patriots just outsmarted the Bills on this particular punt block. Slater gets a touchdown.
13-0 Patriots. Brady would throw a terrible interception late in the second quarter that keeps Buffalo in the game. Now, in the fourth quarter, here's a huge hit right in the head on Josh Allen from Jonathan Jones. Dan, is that a dirty play?
No, not at all. Josh Allen is 6'5", 240 pounds, running full speed at the defense. He's the one who lowers his head. Jonathan Jones is just there making a tackle.
Meanwhile, Matt Barkley trying to win the game for the Bills, and he cannot do it with one last chance. This ball stayed up in the air for about an hour before it was picked off by Jamie Collins, and the Patriots defense holds on to win 16-10. A big topic after the game was the hit on Josh Allen.
There's no room in football for that. It's a shame to see a player like Josh, or any player for that matter, go down with a hit like that.
If one of us did that to 12, we wouldn't have been in the game anymore. There's no way.
It was a very interesting day in Western New York. Josh Allen and the Bills taking on the Patriots, and early on, it is all New England, particularly the defense. This is going to be an interception for Devin McCourty, who makes one in every game, 4 straight games with a pick.
McCourty having a great year. You saw him just have some range come from one side of the field to the other. It looked like Josh Allen threw the ball right to him.
Now it's 6-0 Patriots, and then here they come. Oh, no! Pat McAfee.
You got to bring the gunner down. You got to throw the ball to the wide-open gunner. The Patriots just outsmarted the Bills on this particular punt block. Slater gets a touchdown.
13-0 Patriots. Brady would throw a terrible interception late in the second quarter that keeps Buffalo in the game. Now, in the fourth quarter, here's a huge hit right in the head on Josh Allen from Jonathan Jones. Dan, is that a dirty play?
No, not at all. Josh Allen is 6'5", 240 pounds, running full speed at the defense. He's the one who lowers his head. Jonathan Jones is just there making a tackle.
Meanwhile, Matt Barkley trying to win the game for the Bills, and he cannot do it with one last chance. This ball stayed up in the air for about an hour before it was picked off by Jamie Collins, and the Patriots defense holds on to win 16-10. A big topic after the game was the hit on Josh Allen.
There's no room in football for that. It's a shame to see a player like Josh, or any player for that matter, go down with a hit like that.
If one of us did that to 12, we wouldn't have been in the game anymore. There's no way we would have continued to play in that game.
All right, you hear the comments from the Bills. Rex Ryan, what's your reaction?
Micah Hyde is dead on, by the way, because if you would have hit Brady like that, they'd throw you out of the league. and I mean, so I certainly get his point. The hit on Josh Allen, though, that was not intentional. Like, he's not trying to hurt this player. It's just the thing I don't like is how he stands over him here at the end.
That makes it look bad.
Like. Yeah, absolutely. And it is unfortunate. I don't disagree. It is unfortunate, though.
There are 2 separate conversations I want to have here. The first is about that hit. I agree with you. It looks to me like he's trying to hit him with his shoulder. Josh Allen changes his pad level. He winds up hitting him in the head. It's a penalty. I understand it not being an ejection. Let's compare that to the Vontaze Burfict hit from yesterday. And we'll just show, this is an Oakland-Indianapolis game, and this is Vontaze Burfict with a full head of speed coming in on Jack Doyle, hitting him with his helmet as hard as he can, gets thrown out of the game. And I think this just needs to be said. And Pat McAfee, I'm looking right at you to start this conversation. With the history that Vontaze Burfict has, I don't know for sure that it would be overstating it to say that should be the last snap he has ever allowed on a professional football field in his life, and it is the rest of the players in the National Football League who should take that stand. In a time where player safety is being emphasized, that is contrary to everything the NFL is right now. And it doesn't matter what people like me think. The players should be banding together to get him thrown out of the league.
Yeah, I think especially with the optics of him jogging off the field, smiling and waving and blowing kisses, whenever you put it in slow motion, it's obvious that he's tried to spear Jack Doyle right in the head. And there's numbers and analytics that show that Vontaze Burfict does this on a very regular occasion. And the fraternity
13 occasions,
right?
Pat.
13.
13 times since he's come to the NFL.
That's a baker's dozen, Bob. But the thing about it is that whenever this type of thing happens, the fraternity of brothers in the NFL have to look out for each other. It's always talked about. It's like, hey, we got to take care of each other because this is our business. This is our livelihood. But when a guy like this, who is always loved by his own team, hated by everybody else, continues to risk people's not only careers, but lives, drives right there to Jack Doyle. It's something that this should definitely be talked about.
Okay, so that's that side of it. I do not want to shortchange, however, what was a very interesting football game in Buffalo. So let's go back to that, Rex, and let's go back to what we saw. The Bills, no one had any questions about the Patriots. Are they for real? Of course they're for real. What did the Bills show you with at least their defense going toe-to-toe yesterday?
Well, we said, Greeny, 2 weeks ago I talked about how this is a legitimate playoff contender. Why? Because of their defense. And that's what you saw. Like, they never played a good game on defense. They played a phenomenal game on defense. And when you're like, when you can do this to Tom Brady and company, like they just threw out. They were like, well, let's just not lose it. That's what Brady did. They put up that white flag, so to speak, because he knew the only way they were going to lose the game is if they made a critical mistake.
Sure. We should repeat it again. It's a 16-10 game, and the Patriots scored on a block punt. So the Bills' defense played well enough to win.
Well, the Bills' defense did a couple things really well. They stopped the run, which is New England's been struggling to do that this year, but they've stopped the run. They gave up the short passes, and then they tackled well in space, something that New England usually exploits. And then they shut down the screen game, right? So 3 things that New England usually does offensively really well, Buffalo shut that down. That being said, Greeny, we need to give Tom Brady some credit here because Tom Brady, as a player, said yesterday, I'm not going to let the Bills defense win the football game. He was going to let the defense keep them in the game, but the way he got the ball out of his hands and never took no sacks. No sacks yesterday was massive because he was not going to allow the defense for Buffalo to win the football game.
So that was a spectacular performance by 2 different defenses. New England has a great defense. Buffalo has a great defense. But is the best defense in the sport in Chicago? That's the question. Elle, what's the answer?
Well, the answer would be that right away in the Bears-Vikings game, the entire complexity of the game changed in the first quarter with Mitch Trubisky going down, Dan.
Yeah, Mitchell does a nice job of evading some pressure here. Fumble, obviously, but the big thing is how he goes down on that left shoulder, kind of fully extends or spreads out this left shoulder and arm all the way up, landing on it. We'll see what happens with it, but certainly took some air out of this offense, and then Chase Daniel came in and breathed new life.
Yeah, breathed. I like that. Breathed new life. And he wasn't asked to do much. You see him here in the shotgun, just a short pass to Tariq Cohen, let him do the rest.
Yeah, really good job of finding Cohen one-on-one with the linebacker. Harrison Smith went to the field. He gets a one-on-one pass, good accuracy.
So Daniel was solid, but again, Greeny mentioned it. You're not talking about the Bears without talking about that defense, and in particular, Khalil Mack, another sack.
I don't know what Khalil Mack can do more than continue to dominate football games week by week.
He can also throw out weird expressions.
How important was this win and making sure you defended home field today?
Dog that poop fast don't poop for long, man. It's a good division, man. There's going to be a lot of games that we got to win down the stretch, you know what I mean?
Yeah, the old adage of pooping fast doesn't mean that you poop long.
Never been around my dog.
You're right. Dan's like, I actually can say. I'll start with you, Coach, and I want you to fill in the blank here. The Bears' defense is the best we've seen since...
Oh, my goodness. I would say, I'm going to say the 2000 Ravens defense, and because nobody knows how good the 2006 Raven defense was, so I'm going to say to the 2000s so the fan base can understand what I'm talking about. It is a historic, like right now, this defense is as talented of a unit as I've seen. And they're first-round picks all throughout this lineup, and if they're not first-round picks, they were high-priced free agents. So, I mean, they have 2 great corners, first-round picks. They have Khalil Mack. I mean, look at their linebacking core.
Yeah.
So you got Roquan Smith, you got Trevathan, you got Floyd, you got Khalil Mack.
Roquan didn't even play last night,
He never
by the
played
way.
last night, and neither did Hakeem.
Hey,
yeah, he got hurt.
So they have depth. The only question I had was the depth, and they showed it.
Who's
So
the quarterback?
2000 Ravens, what were you doing in 2000?
I was coaching that D-line,
Where?
tearing it up in Baltimore.
But you know what's funny, though?
Who's the quarterback there?
Trent Dilfer.
And there's the
Tony
point.
Banks.
And there's the point is that you say people might not be familiar with the 2000s Ravens, but whenever
2006 Ravens.
whenever someone wants to talk about that whole, you can win with the defense, there's only 2 names that they bring up, Trent Dilfer and Brad Johnson, right? They won a Super Bowl with Trent Dilfer. But, Pat, do you think that this Chicago team how they're currently composed, whether it be Trubisky or Chase Daniels, can still win a Super Bowl with them there.
I think with that type of defense, you can win anything. The old adage used to be offense sells tickets, defense wins games. This defense is incredible. And now, granted, we can bury Kirk Cousins for stinking in big games, which he has his entire career. But this defense can win you games. When Mitchell Trubisky went down, you didn't hear a lot of gasps or sighs from the Bears fans because Chase Daniel is a quarterback that can get the job done, especially with an opposing side of the ball like this defense that can win it for you.
Would you